Chris Runnels will tip it off. 6'6" senior from Kilgore, Texas, out of Richland College, will tip off against the true freshman, Isaac Rowe. Number 14, Mid-America Evangels, ready to end their season on a high note as they will finish number 2, regardless of the outcome of this game. I was just talking to assistant coach Brandon Rollins, and he confirmed they will finish second regardless, but they want to win this game. And he said, we highly respect Schaefer Center and these Lions. It's always tough to come into this neck of the woods in the Sooner to pick up a win on the road. And we're underway here. Gentry quickly now working on Malcolm Mann, the junior from Plano, Texas. Key Watkins. The senior, Rashad Alexander, finds another senior, Emmanuel Adoy, 12-footer. And
did not grab the iron.
That'll be a shot clock violation. Was talking to
so that's the turnover.
Assistant coach Brandon Rollins, and he said, I said, what are the keys to your season? You come kind of out of nowhere. You've been good. Now you're breaking through that pack and you're a top 15 team. He said, well, Rob, we made a lot of threes this year. We're a very deep ball club, and so we really like to pick up the pace. I thought to myself, that sounds a lot like SAGU. A lot of threes, deep bench, and a lot of pace. So
well, here's the difference between the SAGU bench and in and out, and the MACU. MACU has 7 impact players, and for SAGU, really maybe 1 impact player on the bench, but that's also taking into consideration not all 5 starters are necessarily impact players because more of them are long-range shooters, just like you see
right
that.
Yeah.
And if Key Watkins is not on, he's not going to give you a whole lot of other stuff, but just a lot of misses. So you can't really consider him to be a high-impact player. So really, out of the 5 starters, 3 are impact players and maybe 1 impact player off the bench. So you got 4 impact players to 7 impact players for MACU, and that's the big difference where you will see the bench really rise to the occasion for MACU.
This team ended the Lions' season last year, knocking them out of the Sooner Athletic Conference tournament. Went overall 2-1 against SAGU in the 2014-15 campaign. It was a 6-point loss, actually, 98-92 to end the season in the Sooner Athletic Conference play tournament a year ago this week. There's Byron Miller working now back over to Devon's Reed. Runnels in traffic, nothing there. Long ball, front iron. Rowe clears. Rowe played guard in high school, can handle basketball. Bounce pass inside to Adoy. Cycles back out. Gentry back to Adoy. He'll try a 3. Nearly went down. We are still scoreless. 2 minutes and 10 into play. Both teams trying to find the bucket. Little slip pass inside from Key Watkins to Rowe, tipped away. We'll
Looked
keep
like
it right here.
The Lions might have gotten away with one. I believe that hit off of Rowe, but with the extra officiating, the extra officials in gold, they got the call. Good move by Isaac Rowe. Just happened to step on the line. Can't be out of bounds, Mr. Rowe, and score. But it was a good effort and actually a good finish. Still 0-0.
Long 3. A bad miss. Overhand. Watch it, careful. An over the head save, but into the hands of the Lions. Gentry tries it 3, one of his favorite spots, and that's why. That is why. Loves that right corner. The Lions are on the board first. Took nearly 3 minutes off the clock before any team scored. Alexander, he got another one. Now 6-0.
Just takes one to knock the can off the top, the lid off the top of the basket.
We saw
for
almost
the
the same
Lions.
thing happen against the Rams, John. They
That's
jumped
right.
out early,
Yep.
and the Rams just kind of weathered the storm.
And they have such a good and dominating big game. The MACU doesn't quite bring that size down to the paint, so it's not going to be quite as easy to weather the storm if SAGU gets hot from the three.
They called Rashad's a 2, but that was another 2. He's got 4. The lead is 7-2.
So that's 3 baskets straight, and it seems to happen like that. It just comes in bunches, and once they knock the lid off, it's tough to get them stopped.
Reynolds with the miss. Rowe, why not? The lefty. Here comes MACU rushing down the court, and a whistle going up. That's going to be, it's going to send Nick Tate to the line. If they call it a shooting foul, which I don't think they would not. Yeah, we're going to see Nick go to the free throw line. It's going to be first foul in the game. Check that, the second foul for the Lions. It's going to be on Key Watkins.
Nick Tate's a senior guard, 6'2", 190 pounds from Sand Springs, Oklahoma. And transferred in from Southwestern Oklahoma State.
The senior. One of 4 seniors on this ball club. Just kind of priming the pump, getting ready for the NAIA play. And at number 14, they're likely will get a top, probably number 5 seed somewhere in one of those 4 brackets. As, of course, you know, 32 teams make it to Kansas City. If the Lions don't fare well in the Sooner, it'll be the first time in 3 years the Lions don't advance to Kansas City, John.
It will be, and that's a huge stat for Coach Donnie Bostwick, because he's really made a great name for himself, for SAGU, as being the consistent school. You three-peat like that. Not too many schools do that over time, but it's his full expectation at the beginning of every season that he's going to wind up in that tournament.
You see Pate drawing the foul. First free throw is no good. Second one is.
Tyler Pate can't say enough good things about his ability to shoot. He's a great long-range shooter, but can also slash and create points on the go, on the run, and he's really starting to find his stride here late in the season, although he is nursing a shoulder injury.
Shad, the senior, takes a high screen from Remington Mitchell, gets to the right block and converts. He's got a quick 6. The lead is 10-6. Long 3, and Pate comes down with it. He'll keep it himself. Goes to second gear, spots up Key Watkins for 3. Buried it! And a timeout on the floor. Coach Josh Gamblin wants to talk it over.
Well, he's not going to let this get away from him too early. So he knows, hey, these guys put on a run, and we're playing sloppy D. Well, what we'll do is we'll call a timeout, and we'll force that momentum to come to a halt. And that's very important. You know, those timeouts, when you use them like that, are a big defensive strategy. And then you regroup your troops and tell them, hey, look, let's keep shooting the ball. Let's keep running the offense. Make them work on defense. Don't just settle for the easy shot early on. But it's important, you know, to come down when you're on the road. Come down and make a defense. Make that home team work a little bit harder than you have to. And that's not the way to do it right there.
A whistle away from the ball on Devon's Reed. That's his first foul, the second team foul. The Lions, as they did on our last broadcast against Texas Wesleyan, jumping out early against a top-ranked team in the nation. And again, I think the Lions shot more than 60% from beyond the arc, had 9 threes at half, and had just a 1-point lead. So, like I said in pregame, the Lions got to put 2 halves together like that just to have any chance to win against one of these top-tier teams. Mitchell, the block and a whistle.
And that's the difference. We've seen the top-tier teams come in. That's the big difference. You see them put 2 solid halves together. It doesn't have to be the most stellar halves that you've ever played every time you step on.
Right.
But they have to be solid halves, and that goes more than just putting points on the board. It's about playing defense and keeping your opponent under their averages, and that obviously you hold them under their average. They're not used to that. Psychologically, that has an effect that will carry through the whole game.
Runnels, second free throw. Got it. Reynolds second on the team in rebounds, 164. Leads the team in blocks with 50. The next block statistician or stat goes to Jarek Massenberg with just 14.
Oh, great jump, great effort there, and got a very clean two-handed block. Looked a little awkward, but it was a fantastic defensive play.
Reynolds now on Mitchell. Skips it over. Now over ball to Massenberg. Not there. But an offensive glass and another offensive rebound. And it's going to be Reynolds getting tangled up with Aaron Embry, who's just checked into the ball game. We want to welcome all of our friends watching from Oklahoma City, watching your MACU team in action. Number 14 team in the nation. You got a real good ball club up there this year. We're proud of your ball club and how you've been playing, and we wish you the best in the NAI National Tournament. And we'll see you guys back here in a few days here at the Schaefer when the Student Athletic Conference Tournament begins, as you see Josh Swearingen, a nice little mid-range jumper.
I'd like to see the stat on Swearingen's percentage of the first shot he shoots. I think every first shot he shoots, he makes it.
You look up that with our statistician James Lex. We'll look up the first shot of the season for Swearingen to give you the information you need.
Let's see how good and fast they are.
15-7, Lions up 8. And the bench already getting a lot of play for Coach Bostwick. You're seeing Elbert Lawrence getting some time early in the first half. In fact, by my count, you got 5 reserves in the game right now for Coach Donnie Bostwick. Josh Gamblin in his first season at the helm at MACU, bringing in also Brandon Rollins in his first season. In his 8th season, has a nice play by Swearingen. He has 4. Anthony Nero in his 8th go-around as assistant coach at MACU. Xavier Seaton on over left side to Malcolm Mann, and he is the man. The 6'3" guard from Plano has cut the lead to 8. He's got 4, transferred from Heston College. Swearingen, he wants more. He's got more. Josh Swearingen.
2 in a row. And
7.
And the stat is in from our statistician, Mr. James Lex. He's shooting 80%. He's 21 of 26 on his first shot of games. Shooting 80%, that's strong.
MACU down 11 early on the road, but they've been able to overcome some deficits all season long on the road. Long 3, in and out, but an offensive glass, and we're going to get the Swearingen foul on Xavier Seaton. He'll go to the line. He's a transfer from Mountain View College right here in Dallas, Texas. Just a junior.
Well, we're going to be able to see, what MACU really has on the bench, in the tank, in their game plan. on the road. This is going to be a tough scenario for them. So watch them closely. This will give you a good idea of what kind of run they really can make in tournament time, especially when it's a one-and-done situation. And this is the last game of the season. So this is kind of a tournament-style game. You know, it's the last game of the season. So it's one-and-done concept. How are they going to end it? And it's going to be fun to watch these guys to see really, how are they going to fight and execute in a real tournament scenario?
All 5 starters back into the game for the Lions. 11:18 left. The lead is 9. First foul on Xavier Seaton. Adoy finds Rowe, slashes into the paint. Nick Tate with a good defensive stop there. Malcolm Mann takes it strong to the rim. He's got 6. The lead is 7. Gentry's been quiet thus far. 3 threes in the ball game so far for the Lions. Behind the back pass, got to be careful with that. Adoy trying to wrap around pass to Rowe. Somehow ends back up with the ball. Key. Gentry, 8 on the shot clock.
Great cut.
Finds the slashing Isaac Rowe! Great cut by Rowe. Saw Gentry in trouble. What happened there?
Well, as the defense collapsed on the cutter with the ball, he runs in and it opened up a lane for Rowe to run the baseline, and he was wide open. The defense didn't actually get back. So they got back. It's just a little late.
Some frenetic play inside, and it ends up with an easy little bunny in the hole for Nason Wizzini.
Well, the MACU is doing a good job trying to thwart that second big run that SAGU does have in them.
Oh, Emmanuel! Adoy says, I'm here!
And as you see, you know, it looks like SAGU's, they come out and they just shoot. They shoot an incredible percentage. They're on pace right now for 96 points for the game. If they keep this up, it's going to be hard to beat.
Anytime Adoy, who plays 6'5", he's a forward, that's a nice little mid-range jumper from Malcolm to answer. Anytime Adoy can start hitting those threes, it just stretches out that defense, even if it's a man-to-man, and that causes all kinds of trouble for opposing teams here at the Schaefer.
Well, this is one thing that in adjustment that MACU has got to see and hopefully make that adjustment if they want to win is you got to run these guys off the three-point line.
True.
And got to be a lot more defensive connection up high around the arc, and you might give up a 2. You might give up a cutter that beats you in a backdoor situation, but you come up with a different strategy with help defense or go into some variated zone defense protection, but you've got to protect the three-point line against the Lions.
Xavier Seaton back to the line, second foul on Watkins. Seaton. The first one's good. Here's the play again. You see Watkins getting underneath the body in the hand check, going up. Second free throw's good.
Watkins, you know, when you watch him on TV like this, Watkins reminds me of the former great point guard Muggsy Bogues.
Muggsy Bogues played for the, that's a nice little putback. Oh, he missed it. He played for the Charlotte Hornets for quite a few years. He does have a kind of stocky, muscular look like Muggsy.
Yep. He's about 4 inches taller than Muggsy.
Yeah, he's 5'8". Muggsy's like 5'3" or 5'4" maybe.
Yeah, graciously 5'4". But can you name where he played his college ball?
Ooh, okay. It was in North Carolina somewhere. Am I right?
Would you like to take a guess?
I'm going to say Muggsy Bogues played his ball like UNC Charlotte or UNC Wilmington, one of those mid-range, mid-majors. I'll just go with one of those two.
That is absolutely incorrect.
Shoot.
He played with a major school and actually took them to the Final Four.
Okay, who would that be?
Wake Forest.
That's in North Carolina. At least I was in the right state. Yeah. I knew it was North Carolina.
I think one of the clues was I was actually asking the question.
Because you're all trivia with Carolina. It was a 3-ball, no good. Yeah, those are some fun times in the NBA. You had Spud Webb.
Yep.
Muggsy Bogues. Some other short guards. A big 3 from Alexander. Way downtown. Money.
Rashad Alexander saying, I'm not going to let this last game of my last season game end on a sour note. This is going to be a big game for me, and he's coming out. I love the focus.
Great tip to himself by Wizzy Annie. I'm going to get his name right at some point. Jason. What happened there, Adoy just made his jump a bit early, so he was down when Jason went up, and therefore he was able to tip it to himself. Long 3-ball, no good. There's Xavier Seaton on up ahead. Lays it up and in for Nick Tate.
When you're able to score in less than 2 seconds, you are you're pretty good. That's tough, and Coach Boswick wants to get a little breather, a little timeout, and make an adjustment. Make sure that kind of play doesn't happen again, because you can't take too many of those really quick scores, and it makes your punch less effective. So they've got to do a better job getting back, recognizing, and getting back on defense so that MACU can't get that easy quick score.
5-point lead for the Lions, and really playing all they can, giving MACU all they can handle. Offensively, scrappy on defense. You're seeing reserves being empty. You've got, at one point, he had 5 reserves, did Boswick, on the floor with about 12 minutes left in the first half. That shows a lot of confidence in his ball club. But again, MACU, they've got a deep bench as well, friends, and they like the pace. They average 90+ points a game.
The frantic pace, keeping those RPMs revved up does not scare them one bit. As a matter of fact, may play to some of their strengths, because they're not a really large team themselves, but their bigs are very quick and very athletic. So they can run with anybody in the country.
Had an 8-game win streak earlier in the season, John, from December 18th. There's a big shot from Adoy, and he's fouled. He'll take three free throws. From December 18th through January 23rd, Mid-America didn't lose a ball game. 8 straight, including a win against the Lions at MACU, 98-88. So it was a 10-point win over these Lions. That was back on January 21st. And then in recent games, they've won 5 of their last 7 games. Only losses since February 4th have come to Wayland Baptist. No surprise there. And then a team that we're no longer surprised about, and that would be Southwestern Christian.
That's right. They came in here and lost, but they had a really, really bad night. Southwestern Christian, on any given night, can probably secure a win over either one of these teams, MACU or Texas Wesleyan. But
it was a real nice win for Southwestern Christian over the MACU Evangels, 96-88. That was just a week ago today. I remember calling the game against Wesleyan and watching that score, and we were surprised to see that Southwestern Christian upset MACU. They're a good team, but with MACU, top 15 team, took it on the chin. That was their last loss. So winners of 5 of the last 7. Second place is secured in the Sooner. Earlier, they also had a 6-game win streak way back from in November, near Thanksgiving, November 10th through November 28th, won 6 in a row. In fact, had it not been for a loss to Texas Wesleyan and Philander, Arkansas, they would have won 16 games in a row. That's a team that just that found itself early, found their identity early, and went with it. And thanks all in part to first-year head coach. What a job he's done, Josh Gamblin.
Yeah, he's really had a good mixture of players this year that have been selfless. You can see that in when you have 5 players in double figures.
Absolutely.
You know these guys are willing to share the ball, share the glory, and be committed to that team ball. Kind of like Golden State, the Golden State Warriors.
This team leading scorer is Nate Tate with nearly 18 a game. Devon Street off the bench. He averages almost 15 a game. Jarek Massenberg also off the bench today, nearly 13 a game.
You see another foul called against Remington Mitchell, and Remington is a great athlete, and he's really one of the most improved players for Coach Boswick this year. But he gets his hands a little horizontal, and it gets him in foul trouble too much.
A whistle away from the ball, down low. It's going to be against Chris Runnels. Got tangled up with Mitchell. Mitchell will go back to the line. It's the 8th foul in the half against the Evangels. 7 for the Lions. That's just Runnels' first foul. And Mitchell a chance to add to this 7-point lead. First one's good. Mitchell, he'll be back for another season. Just a junior from Mansfield High School, just up the road.
So just a little over 5 minutes left. It's a 9-point lead, and this is where you see the good teams begin to rise up, cut into that deficit, and see if they can't secure lead going into halftime, or at least cut it to a very minimal deficit.
Long rebound. Jarek Warren will reset. Finds Runnels. Cross-court pass tipped away by Lawrence, out of bounds. Talking about Mitchell, he leads the team, John, in field goal percentage. Can you guess his percentage? Don't look at your cheat sheet. He leads the team easily by 8 percentage points over the second leading field goal shooter. But can you guess his percentage?
60%.
You looked.
I did not look.
60.5%.
Well,
you know. Oh my gosh, I think he cheated, folks.
I don't
Cookman,
cheat. I study.
Cookman took a wink.
Study. I look at these things before I show up to work there, Mr. Price.
Well done. He also has 3 double-doubles on the season, 9 double-doubles for Emmanuel Adoy. Erskine takes a seat on the bench. There's an update for you. A tight one brewing. Oklahoma City and St. Greg's.
We can't begin to communicate what a huge upset
that would be.
It would be a meaningless upset, but it would be an upset nonetheless. Huge upset for OKC. That's not how you want to come into the tournament with a loss over to the worst team in the conference.
Tate flies through the paint, too strong off the glass. Here comes Runnels, and a whistle. He just barrels through, and they're going to call it a charge. A charge against Runnels.
Again, Remington Mitchell holding his ground. And that was the right call, Rob.
The 9th foul, not a shooting foul, on the charge at the other end. Here it is again.
It's not. It's a charge. So it's based on control, and that's why it's not a shooting foul.
Second team foul for Runnels. Lawrence tried to reverse it. His shot was rejected out of bounds. We'll keep it right here. We're going to see 5 new players come in for the Lions.
That was Nick Tate right there, and that was a tremendously athletic play. Blocked the shot, went to track it down, and for just an inch and a half of toe length, he really got the ball and threw it back in bounds.
I am really impressed by the Lions' ability to keep that comfortable distance. It's a 9-point lead against number 14 team in the nation. Adoy into the paint. Too strong. A one-handed rebound and no-look pass to Rashad. Oh, no good, but what a play by Mitchell. Loose ball, we'll keep it here again. We'll reset. Gentry's been quiet. Spots up Key. Mid-range. Short. Rebound. Here come the Evangels. Had some good looks there, John. You got to put those down.
They did. They had 3 really good opportunities. And Isaac Rowe channeling in a little bit of the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar one-handed rebounding technique.
That was Rowe, not Mitchell. I apologize. That was Mitchell. That was Rowe with a nice one-hander.
Right, and that was.
Wow.
He's got such a strong upside. This kid is going to be a power player in the Sooner Athletic Conference.
Could he be up for, I guess they call it, is it newcomer of the year or freshman of the year?
Most of the time it's freshman of the year.
He's got to be in consideration for freshman of the year, John.
Well, I don't know that his stats are really there, but that's a tough one. That's a tough bracket, but he's good enough. Did he get the stats? He's playing on a team that runs a lot of players, so he's going to have to learn to shoot a better percentage if he wants to get some consideration in along those lines.
Team's second leading rebounder, John, 148. Of course, Adoy with 238. And he's also second in blocks with 16.
But to be expected if you're a 6'6" player. I mean, you're probably going to have to produce a little bit more like that. He's got a great, just a tremendous upside.
Shoots 53% from the field in the season. There's a nice mid-range by Devon's Reed, and Bostwick wants to call a timeout as the lead has been sliced to 5.
Yeah, and you still got 3 minutes and 20 seconds to play, and you've thrown a couple really good punches at them and created some distance. You can't afford to go back into that locker room at halftime with a small deficit or down. And Coach Bostwick knows that. So he's using his timeouts wisely and getting his team, his ball club, psychologically prepared to do the right things it takes to make those punches that you've thrown really meaningful. And you just can't give up those leads. And they learned that the hard way against Texas Wesleyan.
Rashad has the ball. He's got 9 points. Leads all players on the court with 9. Rowe now over to Gentry for a 3-ball. That's not going to be good. See, that was off the moment. Left his hands. Gentry just 3 points on the game. Well below his average.
Yeah, and that's really not the offensive possession that you want coming out of a timeout. Just run down and first pass across half court, take a long 3 with a defensive player in front of you. So really kind of tears down the effectiveness.
Pump fake, no good. Too strong by Adoy. Usually makes those. Slipping through the defense into the paint and high off the rim. Malcolm Mann has cut the lead to 1. It's the closest the Evangels have been since we tipped off.
Well, and this is why you say, well, just wait. These guys have proven throughout a season that they're a very good team, and they respond. When they need to, they respond, and they just cut 10 points.
Just like that, just gone.
In about a minute and a half. So these guys are very dangerous.
Shad Alexander was fouled by Malcolm, or check that, fouled by Nick Tate. It's his second foul. The 10th team foul. Lions now in the double bonus. Nick Tate will take a seat on the bench, and we'll see Xavier Seaton back in. Nick Tate, a senior out of Sand Springs, Oklahoma, as you said, from southwestern Oklahoma State.
Well, the Lions scored 25 points in the first 10 minutes. And in the last 8 minutes, have only scored 8 points. Or 10 points.
Looking inside for Louisiana, not there. Here come the Lions. Gentry slipping through, now finds, oh wow, he finds Rowe, who is behind the back pass to Key. Rowe's got the ball again from 15. Rebound, Watkins. Key will reset. Alexander slips through in the paint, tops, turns, spins. A long three, no good. Adoy fighting for it, instead it's man. A minute 30 left. The lead is 3, a chance to tie with a 3. Lions have led the whole way, jumping out to a 5-0 lead early on. And long rebound and no whistle. Yeah, it took 3 minutes to have any score, and it was 5-0 early, and then it's been all Lions as far as holding the lead, and looks like they might be able to hold it here going into halftime. Funny, it was 35-34 at halftime against TWU. We're at 35-32 now with under a minute left to play against MACU.
Yeah, and, you know, if they don't get a score here, you're going to be disappointed going into halftime, not making sure the punches that you landed were not affected.
17-footer, no. Adoy rips out of the air. We've got Rashad spotting up Key Watkins for 3. Nailed it! Key with another 3! He's got 6 and a timeout. With 26 seconds left, the lead back up to 6.
And this is a good response. This is exactly what you need from if you're the home team. You got to get the crowd into it.
Yep.
You've got to make that final minute push, that final 30-second push.
And we didn't see that against Texas Wesleyan with 2 minutes left, John.
That's correct. And we still have 26 seconds left. So to see what a really good team like MACU can offer. But this is a little bit of the difference. The scoreboard is kind of significant of the standings board right now. Why Texas Wesleyan is on top, are the season champions, because they were able to take care of business when they needed to.
Right.
And can MACU come into the Schaefer Center and take care of the business? That even though Texas Wesleyan got hit real hard early on, just like the Lions have done tonight, they were able to whittle that back to just a 1-point deficit at halftime.
Every coach I talk to who comes in here, I talked to them before the game begins, and they just have the utmost respect for this atmosphere here in Waxahachie. The Schaefer Center is no easy place for road teams to come in and play.
Absolutely not. It is a great 6-man approach, and definitely helps the Lions in their winning efforts.
Long 3, no good. 2 seconds left. Oh, this may go. Oh, but nice a strip there by Jarek Massenberg, as somehow, when it was all said and done, you had Jason Gentry with actually a look from about 15 feet around the free throw line, and his shot went up, but a nice defensive play there by Jarek. We go to halftime. Your score 38-32, and your thoughts overall on the Lions' effort here. Very similar to the Rams. What will Bostwick likely, try to tell his troops to not let what happened the last game happen tonight?
Well, I think he's going to concentrate on the focus issue for the second half, and this is what happens. You with young players, you think you can easily repeat what you just did, not knowing what that second half is going to look like. You still have to maintain the focus to make that happen.
Let's go courtside now, check in with Adam Ferguson. Adam?
Thanks, Rob. I'm here with assistant coach Caleb Gentry. Now, Coach, had a decent lead there in the first half. They battled back, pulled it within 10, but you go in the locker room at the half with the lead against one of the top teams in the nation. How's that feel? What's been going on offense in the first half?
Well, I really think our seniors, senior night, so I really think they're playing with a lot of heart. MACU's a great team. We just got to get back on defense, get that defense transition. They're great on the offense transition, so that's why they made that run.
Something we saw a lot in the first half was a lot of bench play. Josh Swearingen getting a lot of minutes, a lot of points there, heated up a little bit. Are we going to continue to see some depth here in the second half?
So definitely Coach Boswick, Donnie tries to get a lot of them in the first half, so we have a little bit of juice the second half. So I think he's slowly going to go to our core 5, but I really think the bench is going to be big for us in the second half, especially at the first rotation.
Was that something you had coming in game plan? Maybe you had a little bit more depth than the Evangels did?
Definitely. We definitely need to play with more depth because they're so quick in the offense transition. So we really got to play our bench to keep it going.
All right, Coach, we're looking forward to the second half. Good luck. Back to you, Rob.
Thanks, Adam. He looks good in a plaid tie, Mr. Caleb Gentry does, doesn't he?
I can't comment much further on that. It's a good-looking young man.
Yes, he is. We'll go to halftime here. Your score 38-32. Back with more after this. Stay with us right here on the SAGU Sports Network.
Yeah.